100% of almost everyone below that guy is the topper. Both are the same table, right? Same 740, same 700, same rank 1, 100 percentile, 100 percentile. 2 people got the first rank, 2 people got the second rank. But there is a possibility 500th rank would be occupied by 500 people. So after normalization, if the ranks become same, we use the tiebreaker criteria, right? Hello guys, welcome back to PW Med once again. So today in this video, I'm going to discuss about normalization of scores. Even after giving the exam, NBE never lets us to rest, right? So there are 2.2 lakh plus students who gave the exam. The next burning topic is, what is normalization? I was from the evening batch. My paper was supposed to be very difficult. Will it change or will it affect my score or my performance? I'm from the morning batch. I also say my paper is difficult, so will it affect it? So what we're going to discuss in this video is the percentile, how do we arrive to it, the normalization, how it happens, the tiebreaker criteria, if at all there is a very equal rank or equal percentile, how do we take care of the tiebreaker criteria? And finally, is it really worth it to go to all the hassle? And what will happen in future? Is there any fallacy of this the process of normalization, right? Thanks to NBE, which has made us to discuss this video. I'm Dr. Ranjit. So first, let's understand about the percentile system, because that's a first step to understand normalization, right? Let's assume I've given just a random table here. Let's assume this is whatever session it is. The first rank person mark is 740. That guy gets a first rank. And that guy is given a 100 percentile. See, this is not percentage, this is percentile. What does percentile mean is, which means there are 100% people who is below them, or he is the first person, or he is a topper of this particular exam, right? Now, let's take the next rank, 733. Let's assume there are 2 people who have scored 733. Both of them are second rank and their percentile is this. If you looked at the NBE notification, they said that they'll go up to 6 digits. This is how percentiles are calculated. There's a very easy mathematical formula to calculate it. I'm not going to the integrities of it, right? So here, if you look at this, there is 99.9982496, right? I look like a robot. These many people are below this particular person of the total of 1.14 lakh people attended, right? Which means below this person, there are close to, let's say, 99.99% people are there below this person. Let's take for an example, 670 marks. This guy has got 250 ranks, which means his percentile is 99.78. So which means 99.78 students who attended the exam are below this rank. Just for a further clarification, let's take the last rank. Let's assume minus 10 is the last mark and the last rank. So how many people should be below him? 0. So the percentile became 0, right? So this is what percentile means. Percentile means if a person is 100 percentile, there is 100% of almost everyone below that guy is the topper. If a person is 95th percentile, which means below him, there are 95% of the students who attended the exam are below his mark or rank. That's what percentile means. Percentile is not equivalent to percentage. It's a different system, right? So we not worry how this is calculated. There won't be any goof-ups in the calculation. It's a simple mathematical formula, right? This is the first thing. Now let's try to compare shift 1 versus shift 2, because we had 2 shifts in this NEET PG exam. Will this shift really matter? Will the difficulty level really matter? For ease of calculation, I am taking an example of one shift being little bit on the easier side and one shift being little bit on the difficult side. I am not naming it a morning shift or evening shift. Let's take 2 shifts. One, the paper is bit on the easier side. One, the paper is bit on the difficult side. So obviously, if a paper is difficult, every person who attended the exam would have found it difficult, right? So what do you think will be the topper's mark? Will definitely be lesser compared to an easier paper, right? That's what here. This person has got 740 marks as the top rank, and this person has just put 700 marks. Both of them are first rank, but the mark is not the same because there's a 40 difference here, obviously, because the paper is difficult, right? So the difficulty of the paper really will not have a much impact on the final rank, because this person is also 100 percentile and this person is also 100 percentile. Let's go to second rank. Second rank is 733. I'll just assume second rank is 680, just for random numbers. There's huge difference here, right? Close to 53 marks are different here. But still, the percentile will almost be the same, right? There's a slight difference here if you notice. This is 98.998181. This is 98.8246. You might ask me why. The reason is not the difficulty level. The reason is number of people attending the exam. This, I'll just assume that The total number of people who wrote the exam here is 1.1 lakh, and here I just assume that it's 1.14 lakh, right? NBE, as per the NBE's notice, there are 28,540 people who attended the exam, 2,28,000 people. NBE must have equally divided into morning and the evening half only. But let's say morning half, everyone attended the exam. That's how the percentile is calculated. It's based on total number of people. Let's say in the evening shift, some 4,000 people have not attended the exam. That's not the problem of NBE. That's not the problem of exam writing person also. That's why there's a slight shift. I'll try to explain why the shift is, right? I hope you understood it. The percentile, there's a slight variation of, here it is 8.2 decimal, here it is 8.1 decimal. So obviously in the ranking, this second rank will have a higher number than this second rank, right? Perfect. Now why is this difference? The reason for the difference is the number of people attending the exam, right? Let's break it down and say how mathematically this difference is justified. Okay, let's assume here 1.1 lakh people only wrote, so which means approximately 4,000 odd people are less in this paper compared to this paper where it's 1.14 lakh people. Understood? So mathematically I'm telling that if these 4,000 people are less, obviously the competition is a little bit lesser. That's why you got the fourth decimal, not even first decimal, not the number thing. The fourth decimal, you have a change, right? Let's assume if the 4,000 people are included here, this will become the same. I'll give you one more mathematical calculation for that. Look at this. Both are the same table, right? Same 740, same 700, same rank 1, 100%, 100%. But when I make the number of candidates equal, the second rank, the percentile is the same. It won't alter. It is the same here also. It won't alter, right? I hope you understood here. If the number of candidates are same, which means the competition number-wise is same, the difficulty level of the paper cannot be the same. It's it's almost impossible to create the same level of difficulty of paper in any exam. So the difficulty of paper will reflect on the candidates. If a paper is difficult, not just the topper, everyone will score less. But the percentiles won't change if the number of candidates are same, right? Let's go back. If the number of candidates are different, mathematically, you guys, this half has got 4,000 less competition. So it's right to have less decimal points. That's all. If this becomes like 10,000 less, this will alter. If this becomes 20,000 less, this will alter, right? This is not under our control, but NBE must have definitely divided them equally only. But again, not everyone who registered for the exam will write the exam. There are lots of problems this year. Someone might say that I'm not well prepared, let me quit out the exam, or I'm having a fever, or some unavoidable circumstances. Because of that changes, and not because of the NBE, not because of the difficulty level of the paper, and not based on your performance. These things are which we can control. People attending the exam which we cannot control, and that's been mathematically justified, that's all. These people have 4,000 extra competitors. Who knows? The 4,000 extra competitors might take all the top 10 ranks. That's why there's a difference. I hope it's clear. If you still have a doubt, put in the comment section. I'll definitely try to explain it better. Fine. Now let's sort it, right? So I'll just erase this completely so that we can quickly go through it once again if required, right? So the percentile thing is very easy to understand. If there is a change in the difficulty level of the exam, by default, right? By default, the marks will be reduced, but doesn't matter. The mark reduction will not affect the percentile. Your shift percentile is calculated only based on the marks of the candidates who wrote in your shift and not in this shift, right? So I hope it's clear. So first we knew about what is percentile system. Then we knew about the comparison of the percentile system based on the shifts, based on the difficulty levels, it will alter. Now let's go to the third part. How do we normalize? The normalization is like this, right? So what we call as normalization is, we don't normalize based on the marks. We don't normalize that. That is a wrong thing, because that's where the difficulty level of the paper will really have a problem, right? We normalize them based on the percentiles. So let's say 740 marks was the topper's mark in the first shift. 700 marks is the topper's mark in the second shift, because second shift we assumed it's difficult, right? Now, if you look at the final rank, both of them will have the final rank, because both of them will have 100 percentile. Got it? Both of them will have the first rank only. Now, you look at the second one. These three were the second rank in both the shifts. Understood? 733 and 680. All of them will have similar percentile. I told the reason for this. The fourth decimal altering is the competition, the second thing was little bit lesser. So they will have second rank and they'll have third rank, right? So it doesn't matter if the paper is difficult, by default, the scores will get normalized because everything follows a Gaussian distribution curve. PSM rocks. Statistics rocks. It will not alter much. By default, it will not alter much. There are some things here and there which will happen. That's based on the competition or not based on the difficulty level of the paper, right? Next question is, if you look at last NEET PG, last INICT, there are close to 250 people who are in the same rank. When we look at the rank of around 1,000 or 2,000, there are too many clustering because there are 2.28 lakh people wrote the exam and there's only 100 points, right? So clustering will happen. I've just given that 2 people got the first rank, 2 people got the second rank, but there is a possibility 500th rank would be occupied by 500 people. So how do I have a tiebreaker on that? Since this will happen, tiebreaker also should be definitely looked into it, right? I'm going to take from the NBE prospectus the tiebreakers criteria, what they're given, and I assume that that's also a very fair enough tiebreaker criteria, which has been used for many years, right? Let's go into it a little bit. So these are the tiebreaker rules, and accordingly, right, in the same order. First thing is candidate with a greater number of correct responses. Fair enough? 2 people got almost similar marks. Someone who has got more correct answers will be given a better thing. Obviously, right? That's fair enough. This is where the EC difficult might marginally affect them. For sure it will affect, but there's no way to overcome this, right? So in other words, I'll go back here. These both of them got the first rank. So of these, whoever got maximum correct answer will get the higher one, and the one with maximum less correct answer will get the lower one. Yes, I do understand this is where your shift will definitely matter, but we cannot let go of it, right? Next, so if both of them are having same amount of correct responses, then what do I go with? We go for the candidates who are having lesser negative responses. Okay, so if first thing is taken care of, which is very unlikely, if that is done, I go for the second thing, less number of negative. Again, fair enough, right? So let's say a student wrote 100 questions only, very conservative, 150 questions or 170 questions. Someone wrote the entire paper. The chance of them being overconfident is going to hit here. So less number of negatives, the person will definitely get a better rank than a person with more negative marks. That is also a fair enough thing. Again, this is where the shift's difference in the paper will definitely affect, right? Third is older candidate. This is a rule by the country. I have been kind of contradictory for the rule. If a person achieves something at a younger age, they should be credited more, right? Obviously, but this is the alternate or the exact opposite of it. If a person is an older person, they get higher up in the hierarchy compared to the younger person. But again, that comes after these two things. Most of the time, almost every tiebreaker will be taken care of by this only. And these are from the NBE prospectus. I'm not taking from anywhere else, right? If this also is not sorted, 2 people, right, who are born the same date, same year, very unlikely. The last is where your MBBS mark aggregates come into play, right? So MBBS mark aggregates come into play. That's how the next level of scrutiny goes. So that's why in your NBE forms, they must have asked you, give the mark aggregate as per 2 decimal points. And I hope you guys have filled it properly. If you're not filled it properly, then everything goes for a toss. If you're an FMG candidate, the FMG mark percentage come into the play, right? These are the 4 tiebreaker criteria. NB is not clearly mentioned that which is the order, but these are the 4 criteria which they will be using to break the tie whenever they encounter the situation of same rank. Not the same score, the same rank. Okay. So after normalization, if the ranks become same, we use the tiebreaker criteria, right? So I hope we had got a little bit of clarity on what is normalization and how it works. And yes, this is the place where it really affects in the tiebreaker. Is it okay to have it? Honestly speaking, kind of not okay, because that's the problem here, right? Because the clustering is so much. Somewhere around 500, 600 rank, you might have 3,000, 4,000 people. That clustering will definitely affect. You can't let go of it. That's the bigger problem. Maybe NB will come up with a better solution to have a tiebreaker rules, but as of now, as per the new NB announcement which came on 8th or 9th of August. They are told that the tiebreaker criteria will be used as per in the prospectus, and these are the tiebreaker criteria in the prospectus. If they change, well and good, right? Now, what are the problem statement? Like I said, the biggest problem statement for me is the clustering. And in the clustering, tiebreakers are based on the number of correct responses and number of negative responses. That is a concern, right? Is it fair to have 2 sessions? Will one session be better? 100%. 100% one session is definitely better. I wrote a NEET exam where the exam happened for 15 days and 30 sessions. Imagine the plight of our batch. There were 30 different sessions and they were normalized across 30 different sessions. I am not saying this is right, but at least something better, right? So we are pushed to a situation which we cannot control, and unfortunately, the Lady Luck plays a big role this time compared to the most of the NEET PG or INSD exams. And I hope this should not follow. One session is always better, same difficulty level, no normalization thing. You read good, get a better rank. Don't read good, you don't get a better rank. As simple as that, right? Can the difficulty level affect the paper created? Can the same difficulty level happen? Impossible. Even if I create the same difficulty level, for me, pathology is easy. For every person, their subject is easy. So they can judge that, okay, it's easy. But for a student, it's different. It's totally different. Even though if they sit for like next 1 year to create a question paper of same difficulty level, it's impossible. So the normalization part will remove that, as we discussed. But the tiebreaker criteria should have been a little bit more stringent by default, right? Will this continue? Hopefully not. My videos will definitely continue, but hopefully not. The 2 sessions exam should not continue, and we should kind of make it streamlined and hope when the NB introduces next, there are lots of multiple more variables which comes into play. Hopefully they have a very foolproof system so that the hard-working, genuine candidates will definitely go higher up in the hierarchy, right? All the variables for everyone who wrote the NEET exam, and I'm very excited to work with some of you in the near future, because younger minds are definitely smarter and brighter than any one of us. If you have any comments, still you have a doubt on normalization, you can ping in the comment box or ping me on my Insta or Telegram link. I'll try to explain the best of it, but this is something which is a short and a crisp video which can explain the entire procedure of normalization, right? See you soon in the next video. Till then, bye-bye from Dr. Anjit. Bye-bye.